Hello, great people. Welcome back to our channel. We're so excited to have you again. Nigerians via socio-cultural and socio-political groups, the likes of Afenifere PANDEF, even Christian Association of Nigeria, have reacted to the statement made by President Muhammadu Buhari during a lunch in Zaria, Kaduna State, where he said that advocates of restructuring cessation are actually dangerous and very naive. And this was not good for Nigerians because right now, due to the push for devolution of power in the country, people from different quarters believe that the only way out of the current situation that we found ourselves is via restructuring if we do not want disintegration. The likes of the Professor Wole Soyinka had said that 2 weeks ago, that if we do not want a disintegration of the country, then the current administration must do all in its power to ensure that a new constitution is given to Nigerians, and also there should be decentralization of power. But then the president has taken his stand. Get to hear what other Nigerians are telling him right now. You'll be so shocked what the Afenifere PANDEFs and the likes are telling him currently. But before we do all of that, if you've not subscribed to our channel, just go there, hit on the red subscribe button and also the bell icon so that you can get notification anytime we publish our videos. South governors, the Christian Association of Nigeria, CAN, and a host of regional and ethnic-based organizations on Sunday disagree with the President Muhammadu Buhari over his comments that there is nothing to restructure in Nigeria. According to the governors and leaders of CAN, Afenifere, Middle Belt Forum, and Pan-Nigeria Delta Forum, PANDEF, Nigerian federalism, security architecture, and revenue sharing formula, among others, needs to be restructured to save the country, rather dismembering it. President Buhari, who was represented as special guest of honor by Executive Secretary of the Revenue Mobilization, Allocation, and Fiscal Commission, Alhaji Mohammed Bello Shehu, at the launch of the Kulirat Abiola Sabongari Peace Formation in Zaria, Kaduna State, said advocates of restructuring cessations are dangerous and naive, noting that his government has no time for any obscure conference to discuss the way forward for the country. Buhari said there is nothing to restructure other than getting the state to allow the local council function and make the judiciary independent. President Buhari added that some of those agitating for restructuring are not informed, do not understand what they want restructured, and may not have read the 1999 Constitution. Reacting to the president's position, chairman of South Governors Forum, Dr. Ifeanyi Okonkwo, who spoke through his chief press secretary, Mr. Olisa Ifejaka, said, "I don't know who is not informed here. Restructuring is not about dividing the country into regions as it were. Restructuring is a lot of things. True federalism. We can't be a federation with the way things are and with so much power at the center. And the center does less than even the local government area. That is why people are calling for restructuring to whittle down the power at the center and give more power to the states because they do more work. Restructuring includes security. If the federal security apparatus cannot cope with the security challenges and you allow states to have their police outfit up to community policing, it is also restructuring. Restructuring includes good allocation formula from the federation account so that there will be equity. Maybe they are just thinking that restructuring means dividing the country, create states. No, that is not all. In a federation, a federating state should have an entitlement. You are producing oil, all royalties should go to you as much as it is going to the center. That is what the people are talking about. Restructuring is all-encompassing. The federal government has not even done one aspect of it, so they don't know what they're talking about. The 17 governors of the southern states have come together and talk about restructuring. They are not just joking. They know what they are talking about. They are very involved, and other people have started talking about it. Alhaji Atiku Abubakar brought it to the front burner about 5 to 6 years ago. Atiku Abubakar could not have been uninformed, and every other person talking about it. Professor Wole Soyinka 2 weeks ago said if the country did not decentralize, it would disintegrate. So I do not know which Nigeria will talk, or which Nigerian will talk about restructuring now that will make meaning other than what prominent Nigerians have spoken about. Very many Nigerians have talked about it, even those in diaspora, and that is what restructuring is all about, going back to the basics and doing the needful. Also speaking, Secretary General of Afenifere Chief Sola Abiseyi said it is so unfortunate that Nigeria has descended to so low that the position of the federal government or even the president would have to be deduced from some innocuous official. From what I read in the papers, the fellow to whom this statement is credited is one Executive Secretary, Revenue, Mobilization, Allocation and Fiscal Commissioner Alhaji Mohammed Bello Shehu, who presided over the share of the revenue of the Federation in which his state probably contributes nothing. How else can he impress his principal than tell him what would suit his sectional and sectarian ego? The elected governors of the constituent state of the Federation, the leaders of the entrenched federating ethnic nationalities, former leaders, president, and knowledgeable personalities are all calling for restructuring of the political architecture to reinvent the foundational federal principle of the polity. And here you find an opportunistic official heading a parasitic office which has no place in a true federal state talking down on the nation. It is my submission that the statement could not be the opinion of General Buhari, who is already seeking restructuring of the current land use under the 1999 Constitution to reopen grazing route under a law made pursuant to the 1963 Constitution. We are at a critical stage where children, particularly in states with the highest population of children out of school in the world, can no longer go to school at all for fear of being kidnapped for ransom. State government are demanding the power to establish state police to deal with insecurity, and prominent traditional rulers, especially emirs, have called on their people to rise in their own defense, and some uninformed government officials are threatening us with war if we will seek restructuring or self-determination. It is so nauseating. In any event, restructuring of the political architecture of the country in the interest of the people, their security and general well-being is not going to be at the pleasure of the president or the whims and caprices of his official. And also, Dr. Bitrus Pogu, who is the national chairman of the Middle Belt Forum, also said that those agitating for restructuring are not naive and dangerous. They are people who want Nigeria to succeed, who want Nigeria to remain one indivisible entity. He went further to say that you can remember that the case of the Southeast has been on for long before now. For the first time, Oduwa Republic has come up, and lately I saw Akwa Ibom or whatever. People are clamoring to leave this country because things are not working. If things are working, nobody will be clamoring to leave. So people who are calling for the restructuring of this country, people who are calling for a constitution that will allow devolution of power and so on, which is a component of restructuring, people who are supporting the governors who say they do not have the power, though they are called chief security officers of their state, but do not control the police and the security apparatus, with restructuring will address are patriotic. The issue of lopsidedness in allocating even constituencies to the extent to some places are more favored than others, rather than using real population, and all that will be addressed with restructuring. So people clamoring for restructuring are patriots who love Nigeria, who want Nigeria to remain one single entity and not to be dismembered because sections are dissatisfied with the way things are going on. Even the PANDEF also have all spoken via South leader Chief Edwin Clark, and in a statement by the National Publicity Secretary Ken Robinson, he said that for the president to make such a statement indicates that APC-led federal government is either confused, dishonest, or incoherent, because the APC constitutes a committee on restructuring that was chaired by one of its governors, Malam Nasser El-Rufai of Kaduna State. And in their statement, the president went forward to state that the president's statement indicts not only his party, the APC, but himself as well. It speaks to the fact that they are either dishonest or incoherent and confused. How could a president whose party constituted a committee on restructuring that was chaired by one of his governors, Malam El-Rufai of Kaduna State, make such comment? The Governor El-Rufai committee concluded its assignment and submitted its report to the party, of which the president is the supposed leader, over 2 years ago. That the president could make such comment, though through a representative at the launch of the Peace Foundation in Zaria, Kaduna State, reflects the core of the nation's problem at this time, and that he could threaten war and the destruction of livelihood of Nigerians shows that this presidency is insensitive, callous, and doesn't care about the unity and the future of Nigeria. Wow, this is serious. You've heard what most of these guys have said. Leaders in different, ethnic representing groups have to say. Let's interact in our comment section. What's your position on the issue of restructuring? The presidency is rejecting it, but the people say they still stand by it if we do not want the country to be